But I recognize this face. Lord de Sardet. What a pleasure to see you again. What good wind brings you?
These people are monsters. They just tortured a woman, and then they say hello, as if it were nothing.
I'm sure that they will explain what pushes them to treat her this way.
Believe me, we would never have reached such extremities if she had told us what we wanted. You see, we have been studying these beings that show, like you, such strange markings on their bodies. We call them metamorphs, but the natives call them Onol-Manawi. And we seek to learn through what process they metamorphosize. We heard talk of a cavern of knowledge. The savages hide all of their knowledge within them. And certainly all the secrets that interest us. We discovered one here, but are unable to enter. This woman, she knows how to enter. But as you have witnessed, she refuses to tell us how. To know we are so close to understanding such a fascinating phenomenon, and to be able to do nothing. Let's just say it has made us aggressive.
It's extremely regrettable. Free her. We would like to have a word with her.
She won't tell you anything. Let us handle this. She will give in at some point.
Afra?
I am so ashamed. To think that I worked alongside you. You are not sages. You are worth no more than a band of drunken brutes. And you shame me even more than the others. To think that we left our master's service together because of his cruelty.
You are unfair, Afra. We are so close to making a fantastic discovery. You know that deep down I am not like that.
Then prove it.
Oh, free her now! We shall leave. Nothing more holds us here.
How are you feeling?
Better now. Those Renaigse are absolute monsters. But who are you? You too are a Renaigse. Why have you freed me?
We were told at Wen Shavar that you and you alone could tell us where to find High King Vinbar.
I wish I knew where he was right now. He bid me farewell weeks ago and he has not returned. I waited a long time and then I came here. To enter into the Cavern of Knowledge.
You believe this is where he's hiding?
No. But he came here often before he disappeared. I'm hoping to find answers. You saved me. And so I must help you as well. You may come with me. The Cave of Knowledge is a bit further north. Here is the entrance to the Cavern of Knowledge. I hope that Vinbar has left a clue to where he went. Something I could track.
Is it your wish to join him?
He is my Manundanem. That means the one who shares my mind in your language. We must be reunited.
I understand. But why protect the entrance to the cavern at the risk of your own life?
The Caverns of Knowledge are truly sacred places. Only the Doneigada have the right to enter.
But you're not a Doneigad. Is that right?
I am not. But I must enter in spite of everything. And since you have helped me, you may enter as well. Even if I am not sure I can trust you. Because you spared these people. Remind yourself that this honor is immense and show respect. I implore you.
Put your fears to rest. We have not come to defile this sacred place. How do we enter?
Allow me. I have seen Vinbar make these movements so many times.
The paint of this fresco is still fresh. It must have been painted recently. It's of a crowned man. Vinbar, no doubt. It looks as if he's walking through the skies towards the volcano. A face has been painted on the volcano.
The spirit of the mountain. My heart did not betray me. Vinbar has readied himself to join Enon Milfrichtemen.
Was that why you came in here? To confirm that supposition?
To understand, yes. As the years passed, my Minundanem grew more and more distant to me. I thought at first it was due to his status and the invasion of the Renaigse. But now I see that he was hearing the call of Enon Milfrichtemen. He had no choice but to answer it. Oh, Vinbar, why did you not share this with me?
These paintings are older. This looks like it represents a man who transforms himself into some kind of enormous bird.
He is a Doneigad, becoming a Nadaig Meneman. Vinbar was also bound to the mountain. It is no doubt the path he has chosen to follow.
If I understand correctly, the Doneigada metamorph differently according to the place they are bound.
Yes. The Sinolmenawi bind them to a specific place, and in return they become the Guardians. But how could a Guardian of the Plains resemble a Guardian of the Mountains?
Do you believe that Vinbar is readying himself to undergo this transformation? I thought it was a very slow process.
For some, it takes years. At least this is what is said. For others, it might take place the very moment where the Doneigad surrenders to Enol Milfrichtemen. I hope only to have the time to bid him farewell.
Given how well hidden this seed was, it must open an important passage. All we have to do is find out which. This mural is also ancient. It seems to show a doorway into the mountain. This door appears to be in front of a circle of stone. There are 2 altars and 2 seeds.
The Doneigada seal certain sacred places with root doors.
Yes, I've run into similar barriers. It's all a matter of finding the right seed. But here, there are two that seem to be different. For one, the flower motifs seem to indicate which plant is required.
This is possible. The caverns of knowledge are used to initiate and transmit the knowledge of the Dene Gada. This painting must teach the younger how to reach the sacred place, where they will bind themselves.
In that case, shouldn't there be an illustration of the second plant?
The initiates also learn by listening to their masters.
On this one, we see a sacred site with raised stones. And behind the face of the volcano, we also see the path that leads there. Like some sort of schematic.
This must certainly be the path the young apprentices must walk. And the Done Gada that are prepared to surrender themselves to Enolmil Frichtmen.
Do you recognize the place where the entrance can be found?
I think so. It looks like the grotto that lies to the northwest of our village.
With all that we've learned from studying these paintings, we should be able to find Vinbar. I just hope there's still enough of him left to answer us.
What do you hope to ask of him?
We hope that he will agree to take us into the sanctuary of Dorhad Genadu.
What do you hope to ask of him? Why would the Renaik say? It matter not. My head spins. I will wait for you outside.
Please, go ahead. We will join you shortly.
Am I the only one to think this woman's departure is suspicious?
Sarah is upset, and I don't think that she trusts us. We should hurry and catch up to her.
This door is locked. Sarah has put us in a very tricky situation.
We should have noticed that she did not trust us. Well, let's search. There must be another exit to this cave.
These traps weren't here when we went through with Sarah earlier.
She must have set them to make sure that we wouldn't be able to follow her.
Let's hurry and find this passage to the northern mountain before she decides to come and fight us directly. This is the camp that Constantin's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope that Omegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws, and there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantin or Katasak's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantin were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring, a place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinomenawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasach wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find.
Karans, do you need something?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Katasach have found a better means to alleviate Constantin's symptoms? Crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantin nor Katasach are among them. Constantin and Katasach must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames.
Watch out! Grenade!
These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? more signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantin or Katasach. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantin, what have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantin and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual. But they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantin captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wen Xavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
And you think that they would have taken Constantin? Is that possible? Maybe he was in need of treatment. But if you suspect them to have participated in the combat to capture him, I think you're wasting your time. I know the captain of that outpost. A pessimistic man who would never order an attack without being absolutely certain of total victory without losses.
Perhaps. Unless he was simply obeying orders. It does belong to the Coin Guard, after all. However, one way or another, Constantin is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
I've heard stories of your exploits. Thank you for all you've done. It's unusual for us to be offered aid by a Renaigse. It seems my Tiern was right. You are on Olmenawi. How can I help?
Katasak has disappeared. Would you have any idea as to where he went?
What? But my Tiern followed you to help you. How would I know where to find him?
I don't know exactly what happened, but he took my cousin to a particular place. A place to perform a ritual. Their escort was attacked, decimated by beasts and by magic. And my cousin and Katasak have disappeared.
And you believe that the Tiern has taken your cousin and killed his soldiers? Your heart must beat in shadow to believe that the man who offered you his hand only did so in order to better betray you.
Wait. This is not what my friend wanted you to hear. Perhaps they were wounded, and your master wanted to take Constantin to a safe haven to heal him. We must find them at all costs. Wherever they are, they most certainly need help.
Forgive me, Doneged. Your words are true. I spoke without thinking. But I do not know how I can help you.
There may be a way. I found these vials of potion on the battlefield. Do they belong to your master?
They could very well, but let me see them closely. No, they are not his. This potion does not seem like any of those my master prepares. I do not know this smell. The plants used to make it do not come from here. Another Doneged must be implicated, but none that I know would attack Katasach. May the trees protect us. Who would attack the water that heals? The earth that feels? They must be in grave danger.
Yes. I sincerely hope that we will find them. That they are alive and well. I must go. I need to continue my investigations.
When you have discovered anything, let me know.
Tell me about the colonists. When did you meet them for the first time?
Perhaps a dozen cycles ago. I had heard rumors, of course, before that. Some of the eastern clans said that there were men coming from the sea who had made their home on their lands. They said that they built very tall houses and stole their children from them. I thought of it as nothing more than tales one tells by the fire of a night. Then one day, I saw them. They came into our village. They came with soldiers. They wanted to shake our minds, treated us as if we were children, barely able to walk. I was told that they were not the same tribe as those found in the east, different as well from your people, but I see no difference. You are all Renaigse to our lands, and I do not trust any of you.
What can you tell me about your village?
It is Wenxavier, the village of living waters in our tongue. The wells and the rivers here flow with healing waters. All the island knows this. Our riverbanks are plentiful in plants, and the shores are full of shellfish that are used in healing potions. We are mostly fishermen and gatherers. We hunt little and have no warriors amongst us. Our village is a calm place in normal times, a place of peace. But since the coming of the Mindshakers...
Can you tell me more about Katasak?
The Tiern. He is the best healer on the island. A good and wise man. He is very concerned about the sick under his care. He gives them all his time and energy. Our village has always had the greatest healers. And my master is as good as any of the ancestors. I hope to be as good one day.
I would like to hear more about the Tenlands.
I'm in no better place to speak of these creatures. Before I believed I understood them, but today we simply took care to respect the place where they made their nests, so as not to disturb them. For like all of these creatures, they are part of the spirit of the island, a part of the balance. But all of a sudden, one day their numbers grew more and they became angry and aggressive. The balance has been broken, but I do not know how.
I have to go.
Qua awele, Mseg.